Just a bloke in a bar.
Good to go.
All right. Oh, look, I don't even, welcome, another big episode. What's up, guys? I don't even know how to start this podcast. I don't know how to start it. I tell you what, though. Beautiful weekend. Take my sons and my wife. We go see some dinosaurs yesterday. And here I am thinking that, the world, my chakras are all aligned. They're all aligned. The world is good. Everything, love is in my life. I'm just floating through it. And then I wake up this morning, have a great day. It's an in day because there's rain. But you know what I say? First of all, I did an hour-long workout, that's a huge win for me, with 2 kids. Then I say, you know what, Rain, come outside. It's raining. You're a little boy. Let's get you wet and have a bit of fun. I took him out. I'm taking little life memory shots of him, just going, wow, what a beautiful day. And then I get home and my wife says, hey, may you please go get me some pizza pockets from Woolworths? I'm really craving them. I say, yeah, of course. Of course, love. I love you. I'm a good husband, a good father. Of course I'll go to Woolworths. And then I go to Woolworths, I get out of my car and I kick my toe. I don't know if you can,
Oh, no, yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, you can.
I kick my toe. In my head, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm a glass half full guy. That really hurt. I pretended that it didn't hurt when there was people looking at me. I just kind of kept walking, sucked it up. And I thought, you know what? I'm a glass half full guy. The day's only going to get better. That's the worst. Here I am thinking the worst thing that could happen today is a kick toe. And then the bombshell drops. I'm about to pick up. I'm pizza pocket. I'm sitting there going, I've been taught since a little kid, you do the right things. You happy wife, happy life. That's what I was told. I was told by every man that ever spoke to me, happy wife, happy life. I'm keeping my wife happy, being a good father, taking a kick to the toe, bouncing back, positive attitude. Life can only get better today from the kick toe. And then the news drops just as I check out with cheese and bacon pizza pockets. So I can't eat them again. That's PTSD for me. That's just reminding that Payne Haas left. And here I am, not only thinking that I kicked my toe, my day's about to get better because it can't get worse than now. Now I've got a kick toe and Payne Haas broke my heart. So that's where my head's at right now. Heartbroken, hurting, the meme, the cry meme, all that good stuff with the mask on. Bombshell. All jokes aside, when I had a sneaking suspicion is when this piece of shit, this motherfucker who never posts anything on a weekend, never. And you know what? Here I am as a good boss. I always, whatever happens, I'm always like, I don't want to ask me to do that because it's his weekend. Give him some space. This has been going on for years. And this motherfucker has the audacity to message me where he's barely got any motherfucking reception and says, do you want me to post the Payne Haas news on a Sunday of? And I think that's a bit fucking weird. You never post on the weekend. And he would never message me asking me that, ever, in a million fucking years. And I think, wow, that's strange. And then I look at the fucking news. And then what made it even stranger is before I could load anything up, because it hadn't come up in the Google News bit yet, he says, I'm just going to post anyway, which he never, ever, ever would do. Ever. Even during the week, he would never do that.
So the reason I did that is because my phone is cooked at the moment. I was at home, but for some reason I couldn't get or receive any texts. For the last day, I have to restart my phone and stuff. And I was actually editing tomorrow's season preview.
Yeah.
So I was on my computer anyway, and I get a push notification from Daily Telegraph, Payne Haas bombshell. I'm like, okay.
Sports.
So what I did was, that's what I did. So I get the Daily Telegraph push notification, I go straight to Code Sports. Payne Haas signs with a Sydney club. I click on it, and I expect to read that he signed with the Roosters.
Of course.
And then I read his sign with South, and I'm like, holy shit. I check Instagram, no one's posted it yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we have to post this right now. But when I texted you, the message didn't come through, so I sent it as a text message. And then I'm like, I'm not going to just sit here and wait. It's on Code Sports. I'm making a decision.
Fuck off. If that was any other club, you would have waited. Any other club, you would have waited. Or you would have said, hey, have you seen the news? You would have said that.
Yeah, but the non-reception really threw a spanner. And I'm just like, I've got Wi-Fi, I have to post it. And then I was like, fuck, should I, just in case it's fake news. And then I saw Brent Reid post it. I'm like, all right, it's news. I have to post it. So, yeah, that's where we're at.
Man, I tell you what, obviously I speak a lot of rugby league and everyone knows how much I love the Broncos. Man, there's been a lot of people just waiting in the woodworks to laugh at poor old Beak. Got Latrelli Mitt laughing in my comments section. I've got Carianis taking shots in the comment section. I've got people taking shots left, right and centre. talk about kick a bloke when he's down. I tell you what's funny as well is like when it first came through, it was all just reported, and like, as your immediate bias kicks in of like okay, maybe you start believing things you want to believe, which is like, okay, maybe it's not confirmed. And then I saw, what confirmed it for me, and this is crazy. So as soon as it obviously dropped, I started just posting memes, a bit of fun, all that good stuff. And I saw Payne Haas's brother like the picture, and also Payne Haas had seen my stories.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, so he's online, like he's looking at everything, he knows what's going on. I was like, okay, it's definitely true. So that would have been like, I don't know, 5 minutes after it all kind of dropped. I was like, that's when you can kind of know what's going on. So, mate, there's so many things I want to say. I will say this, and this is not coping at all. I'm not disregarding. We have just lost the greatest front row of all time. That is the fact of the matter, in my opinion. You can look at other stuff of like Premierships won, Glenn Lazarus, your Petro, Webke. You can look at combos, Fish, Leota. But individually, as a player, we just lost the greatest ever front rower, in my opinion. So I'm not discounting that. The one thing I would say to Broncos fans is, we're the Broncos. We've had greats before, we've rebuilt, and we'll have greats again. So although it is a devastating time, although it's going to be really hard to swallow, especially over the next year watching a guy like Payne Haas leave, we are the Brisbane Broncos. Let's just remember that. We have developed many greats. Payne Haas was just a rookie at one stage, coming through that we signed for a long, long period of time, under Wayne Bennett, ironically. Webke, Petro, Brad Thorne, all those guys. We have Darren Lockyer, Walsh potentially could go on to be a great. You name it, we've had greats. So I just remind that when you're feeling a bit down, struggling a little bit, it's not like we're a struggling club or a smaller club that really struggles to attract or produce greatness. We have done it generation after generation since coming into the club. So let's just remember that. I know it's my bias speaking, it's me as an ex-player speaking, but we're the Brisbane Broncos. Remember that. We are the Brisbane Broncos, and we have done this before. We will do it again. That's all I'll say with that in regards to that. Now let's get into that was cope. That's a lot of cope there, but it's also how I truly feel about this situation. Devastated, Payne Haas leaving, but we are the fucking Brisbane Broncos. We've produced multiple greats in multiple different positions, and we will do it again. There, I said that. With that out of the way, absolutely shocked beyond belief. If it had popped up, Roosters, Penrith even, and I just want to be clear, I'm not being disrespectful to the Rabbitohs. I understand they're essentially the oldest club in the competition. I understand they're a big club. I understand they've got superstars in their roster. But I just didn't see, I'll be honest, like they still have question marks about who's their 7 going forward, who's their 6 by the time he arrives. Like Cody Walker may have retired by the time he arrives. Like Jai Gray, gun player. He's a fullback, I guess, long term. Trell Mitt, he'll obviously be a centre. Gun player, but in regards to spine,
like hooker, not even sure.
Yeah, like maybe Mamazelis, maybe Cheese. I guess Cheese is more of a forward player, and that's where I am so intrigued. What I will say is this as well is like I trust Payne Haas as a bloke that his reasons are fair. If you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the thing I'll say with the whole Payne Haas situation, this guy stayed with us from a spoon to a premiership. So whatever decision he makes, I think as Bronco fans, we have to support it. Like if I see any of this like negative chat, and I understand, look, you got your first 24 to 48 hours of like that emotional reaction, maybe even a little bit longer. But if I see negative chat next year, I'm not the guy that measures who's a real Broncos fan or not. But I personally think real Broncos fans, again, this is just my opinion. I'm not the guy that measures it, but my opinion on it, if you're a real Broncos fan, you'll respect whatever Payne wants to do. He stayed with us through everything. He got us back to where this club belongs. So whatever choice he needs to make or wants to make or whatever the reasons are, whether it's family, whether it's money, whatever the reasons are, he has earned the right to have that choice, in my opinion. Now, there are some other players that have left us before that we've built up and they haven't really delivered back to us that you could make the argument of like, hey, maybe you owe the club a little bit. Payne Haas doesn't owe the Broncos anything, in my opinion. He has given us this first premiership, essentially just say 20 years. It's incredible. He deserves to make whatever decision he wants to make. However, again, I'm intrigued to find out what those reasons are. I'd love to get your thoughts before I go too deep into that, Matty, because like it sounds like I'm being disrespectful to Arrows. I promise you I'm not. I'm not sitting here saying they're a low-tier club. I'm not sitting there saying they're a small club. I'm just saying like, in a few years, who are the key players and key positions that are going to win a comp? That's I guess my question.
Yeah. My first thought, let's just go back for a second, is why he's leaving the Broncos. And I know we don't know yet. He hasn't said anything. And there's been rumblings at certain parts over certain years, over contracts. Will he leave? Will he stay? Obviously, the latest one has been R360, but that's for totally separate reasons. Now R360's gone.
Well, postponed, and I'll get into that in a little bit, actually.
I am pretty shocked that now is the time that he's leaving the Broncos.
Yeah.
Does he think that maybe South have been in the bottom four the last 2 years, but they've got a strong enough roster that if he joins, he could be part of a premiership and create a bigger legacy that way?
Yeah, like if I remove... Because and I'll just be totally frank, I am struggling to understand how you could pick the Rabbitohs over the Broncos. Because it's my bias, my bias is the Broncos. And so I'm trying to remove that because there is just some world where he just wants to play for the Rabbitohs. You know what I mean? I struggle to understand that. Like, how could you possibly want to play for another club over the Brisbane Broncos? Because I love the club so much. And I know people go, you play for other clubs, whatever. Yeah, that's because I was told I was playing reserve grade. If I was playing first grade, I would have stayed at the club for the rest of my life. But anyway, that's a different story. And I'm not comparing myself to Payne Haas at all. So I'm trying to remove that bias and go, okay, maybe he just wants to go to a Sydney club. Like, he's a New South Welshman. And to him, maybe one of these bigger clubs like the Rabbitohs or Roosters or whatever, growing up, that was something that he looked at and that's the big dog club. That's definitely a fair thing. But I do think there's multiple options here. And one option is this his Glenn Lazarus moment? Is this his moment of going, listen, yes, I could stay and build a legacy at the Broncos, multiple premierships over whatever years. However, whenever you talk about the greatest ever front rowers, what separates Lazarus from everyone is the fact that he went to multiple clubs that were either struggling on you or whatever and got them a premiership. I wonder if that's what he looked at the Rabbitohs and said, that's what I want to do.
I think it's a combination of both. I think he's definitely gone and said that. And I know, you're a Broncos fan, so I understand all those things that you said. But the truth is that South are one of the most famous clubs in the NRL with some of the most proud history, with one of the biggest fan bases. I know it's not as big as the Broncos.
No, I respect that. I really do. I'm not discounting that at all. I agree.
Yeah, for sure. But winning a premiership with the Rabbitohs coming at this particular time would do amazing things for his legacy for so many reasons. Again, dragging him up from the bottom just like he did the Broncos. I know it's a bit different, but dragging him up from the bottom, but also being part of South Sydney. I know South Sydney haven't gone well the last few years, but they are an enormous club. When South make the grand final in 2014, or even in 2021, as COVID kind of screwed it up a bit, but in 2014, you couldn't walk around this area without seeing a Rabbitoh thing painted on. There's still Rabbitohs painted on the roads from back then. There was flags in it. It is such a proud and historic club, and obviously I'm biased to the Rabbitohs because I'm a fan. I grew up in this area.
But everything you say is true.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying is true.
So there's a lot of reasons to want to try and win a premiership with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. So I think that they're struggling. It'll just do so many things for his legacy if he is able to get a premiership in 27, 28 or 29.
I will say I'm literally going to never watch Gladiator again because Russell Crowe's a dog. Russell Crowe's a dog. My favourite ever movie. Favourite ever movie is Gladiator. Russell Crowe's the GOAT. Now he's a dog. I will say it's something that doesn't get really appreciated enough from the Rabbitohs is of course, Politis is one of the most powerful men in this country. Rabbitohs have big dogs too. They have big dogs behind the scene that you probably don't hear. I know deep footy fans will hear it, but wider audience don't really hear as much as the power that is behind the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, you got Russell Crowe, obviously. That's the obvious one. You got Mike Cannon-Brookes, who's like a billionaire. I'm pretty sure James Packer's still involved. If he's not, then he was involved.
Yep.
So there's big dogs around the Rabbitohs as well.
Yeah. I also, when you take away the hurt and the pain and the devastation, I respect that it wasn't the Roosters from a respecting a Payne Haas situation. Not to suggest that I would be upset more or less if he went to the Roosters, but it's that's the obvious answer. You know what I mean? The obvious answer is you got your Politises, your Borises, the Roosters. They never miss their man, and you'd have to assume that the conversations are there. I kind of respect in the sense that he's gone to a club like the Roosters are, a premiership chance this year.
Yes.
Potentially next year as well. Where Rabbitohs, although some people have them as premiership chance this year, they're not as close as the Roosters right now.
They've been in the bottom 4 last 2 years.
That's the fact of the matter is. And like you could say, oh, look at the injuries or whatever. Fact of the matter is that's just the reality of the situation. So I do respect the fact that just from the perspective of like, instead of going right, where everyone always goes right, he went left. There is something to admire from that perspective. And so, yeah, I get that. Now, in regards to the Broncos, like, geez, I'm interested to see, like, what was the reason? You know, was it... And now this is cope, guys. This is pure cope and pure speculation. Like, is there clauses in that? Because the Rabbitohs have a history of obviously the Suaalii situation where he basically was allowed to... What was the Suaalii situation again that the Rabbitohs were really open with?
No, South were closed with it.
Roosters, sorry.
Roosters had the clause.
Yeah, Roosters had the clause in, and that's what got Suaalii to the club.
The Roosters, yeah.
And so I just wonder... Now, ironically, maybe they aren't open to it, but is there a Rugby 360 clause in there that says...
Possibly, yeah.
Like, if they do come with a huge offer, you know, because like... You'd get him for 27 then. They start 28. And then Rabbitohs are just going, maybe they learnt their lesson from the Suaalii situation. Like, we'd rather have him for 2 or 3 years than no years.
Yep.
Maybe.
And that's fine. From a South fan, that's fine.
Again, guys, this is speculation and pretty much cope, really. Because I'm trying to excuse why the Broncos lost him. Like, maybe it was just... Again, I want to make it clear. I'm trying to remove my bias because maybe he just wanted to play for the Rabbitohs. Like... Because like what's so surprising about it as well, it's like it's surely the Rabbitohs aren't paying that much more than the Broncos were going to pay.
And that's what I'm thinking. So like obviously the Broncos just won the comp, right? So they're going to have players needing upgrades. I would never in a million years let Payne Haas go. Never in a million years.
He's not the guy you let go. Like there's 2 guys you don't let go, Reece Walsh and Payne Haas.
Exactly.
Everyone else gets let go.
Exactly. But maybe it's so fragile and so uncertain that they're just like, we can't mortgage our club on this guy.
By the way, guys, obviously this is an emergency podcast. Our season preview, it drops tomorrow at 3 p.m. Don't forget. And also, obviously, our sale, this is our 2026 jersey. This is not on sale. But we have jerseys on there. Our bloke sale, the biggest ever, is 6 p.m. tomorrow, Monday. 50 to 60% off everything. It all has to go. So that's tomorrow night.
I'm just going to look up something that I just randomly remembered. There was a story that went around a couple of years ago that linked Payne Haas to the Rabbitohs. I'm just trying to remember.
Fuck, you'll never find it now. Fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, and didn't someone not rock up? Didn't Burgess like not rock up or something like that?
That's what it is. He was in talks with South years ago.
And Wayne got him.
Yeah,
yes.
Sounds right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was going to sign with South, had a last-minute meeting.
I found it.
With Wayne. Okay, yep.
Sam Burgess' broken promise that cost South the signature of Payne Haas, written by Chamis, of all people, in 2019. Sam Burgess didn't know it at the time, but a broken promise of Payne Haas would cost South Sydney the signature of the most sought-after teenager in the country. Inside a Redfern cafe 3 years ago, so 2016, Haas sat alongside Burgess and Madge. Blah, blah, blah.
And Madge? Oh, fuck.
I'm trying to see what the reason was.
So Wayne's gotten...
Yeah, so Burgess mustn't have turned up. So when the Englishman volunteered to venture to Penrith later to watch Haas play, Haas was looking around for him and he didn't see him. And I was a kid, it hurt me a bit. I used to love South. My dad's a mad South fan.
Oh, wow. There it is.
Sam Burgess was someone I grew up idolising. It's funny how things impact you when you're young. I was pretty close to signing there. The only reason I didn't go any further was because Sammy told me he was going to come to my game, but he brushed me. And I was like, oh, don't worry, I'm not coming to South Sydney. It's a story Haas would later tell Wayne Bennett during their time together at the Broncos.
So Wayne has taken Payne Haas from Madge twice.
Yeah.
So that it all makes sense. His dad's a massive South fan.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's that.
Wow. Okay.
So there is a small connection there. Well,
not small, it's your dad.
That's a huge connection.
Yeah, it's your dad. Like, fuck, like I sometimes think back to, I'm not saying I'm Payne Haas, but think back to like when I had soccer, AFL and league interested, there is like a certain part of me that goes like, I wish I had gone down the AFL route because my dad loved AFL and he was a Brisbane Lions fan. And that would have been like, as you get older, that stuff means more to you. But like, and Payne Haas is getting a little bit older. Wow. So it's, and like Payne Haas is clearly a guy where these sentimental things mean something to you. He openly admitted, I didn't go because he didn't rock up.
And I've just reading the article. Burgess later, like when they played against each other, apologised to him for it. Burgess said he didn't remember it, but as a kid, you obviously...
Obviously, it's a big, Like, and he's just got coming through like, wow, okay, so there's the connection. Like, who can seriously begrudge Payne Haas that? Your old man is a massive South fan. You're already going to go there. What about Wayne, you old sneaky bastard?
Well, according to this article, geez, I forgot about all this. Apparently, Wayne called Haas, and if he called him 24 hours later, he would have signed with Melbourne. He was almost going to sign with Melbourne.
Oh, the Melbourne story. Yeah, okay, yeah. So Wayne's got him twice.
Wayne's got him.
Wow. Wow. Wayne, like, what about Wayne being the greatest ever Broncos coach, and he just took the greatest ever front rower? Fuck. Oh, stop hurting us, Wayne. What's doing? Okay, that makes sense. Look, and Payne does seem like the kind of guy that it's like, I'll do this for my old man, like,
for sure.
He seems like a kind of person that sentimentally, to be able to put on the Rabbitohs jersey, know that his old man is just like sitting there going, what an incredible, son or whatever. That makes sense. Who can begrudge him that? Seriously, who could begrudge Payne Haas that? Spoke about it a little bit before, but if you're a Broncos fan, he won us a premiership for a wooden spoon. He should be able to, if you say, oh, he can't, how dare he try to make his dad happy? Because we're assuming that's the reason now. Maybe it's not the reason, but it seems like that's the most obvious reason that his old man's a massive Rabbitohs fans and he wants to make his dad proud playing for South.
Yeah.
That seems like it. Who could begrudge Payne Haas that?
Absolutely no
Like any reasonable person. He won us a premiership from a wooden spoon. It's almost like we owe him the grace to do that and support him still, I know I'll still support Payne, like obviously not when he plays the Broncos, but I still want him to go down and kill it, Maybe a grand final against the Broncos and Willison like scores over the top of him or something like that. That'd be good. Oh, the banter with the boys. Okay, that makes sense. But we'll still talk some conspiracy theories as well. Still talk some conspiracy theories about some other things. Now, this is pure cope, guys. You know what? I need to get my hat on because that's what it deserves right now. We're in full crazy conspiracy territory here. But is there a world where he wanted that clause in his contract with the Broncos, Madge being like ruthless with, like pretty ruthless? We know how ruthless he can be. Was like, nah, not offering, cannot do that. If you're going to be at this club, there's no clauses. You stay for a couple of years. And that's the difference. Again, guys, this is pure speculation, conspiracy stuff.
Possible.
Like, for example, I'll ask a Rabbitohs man. Let's say they're paying around the same amount of money. What do you reckon the reason would be to leave the Broncos if you were a player there?
Well, there isn't. And that's the fact. There's no reason. And that's why I'm so shocked that he's gone to another NRL club, let alone South. So I actually don't necessarily agree that they offered the same. South have 4 guys on their books from 2028 onwards, I think. So
you reckon they might have offered substantially more?
South could literally mortgage their club on this guy because I think it's only Jai Gray, Cam Murray, Lockie Hubner and Totola are signed from 2028 onwards. So I know South are in salary cap trouble right now, but if they've somehow back-ended it or something, they might have been able to offer him 1.5 million. Is that a good idea? I don't know. But there's a chance that South could have offered significantly more money.
Yeah, okay.
And especially because, as I just said, like Broncos have just won the comp. People are going to need upgrades. Everyone's going to need upgrades. So maybe just there isn't much room to work with at the Broncos.
Fuck.
I don't know though. I'm just...
Yeah, like I guess like surely the Broncos offer him at least 1.2 million a year.
You'd hope so because he's worth more than that.
Yeah, and so it's like, is he going to leave the Broncos for 300k a year extra? When he probably could get like 2 million in union a year somewhere over in France or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. Again,
So
this is like leaving the NRL for money is one thing. And we've said it a million times. If you went to NRL Rugby 360, sweet. All good. But I'm shocked he's gone to another NRL club.
Yeah.
Like, shocked. I woke up this morning. Payne Haas wasn't in my head this morning. But if he was, I never would have guessed in a million years that he would have signed with any other NRL club, let alone South. So, we're not going to hear answers for 10 days because the cooling off period started today, which I'm frightened about, to be honest.
No, I don't think so. The Broncos have already posted about it as well.
Look, I am this. I'm not going to. I can't justify my emotions. It's it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I want to hear answers, to be honest.
Look, it explains the Keon situation as well, I guess.
Yep.
You know, the fact that they probably couldn't offer him, you know, a good enough deal to keep him. So I just want to make it clear. There is a world where they offered him the same and he just wants to be at the Rabbitohs. And this is his Glenn Lazarus moment. He wants to win a premiership with a team that, obviously won 14?
South won 14, yeah.
14, so that's another decade-long drought per se. You know, obviously it's not that big compared to other clubs, but
it's still 1 in 50 years.
It's still 1 in 50 years. The second one, you know, so there is every possibility that he wants to be at a club that has the most history or equal most history, whatever you want to say, in the competition. And he is all about legacy. And I mean, if he wins a premiership at South,
I think the legacy thing is probably the most likely option, because I reckon South is easily the best club for that. For the reasons said before. They're a famous club, but they're also down the bottom of the ladder. But a lot of people have him in their 8 this year. So, I don't know. I reckon obviously I think it's the right play. I'm a South fan. But if it's for legacy, I reckon he's picked the right club.
Yeah. The only question is just around the halves.
Of course,
I will say, though, that, so here's the knock-on effect for Souths. And we'll get to the Broncos specifically. But Souths, the recruitment pool for the best young sevens in the comp just became, impossible. Every manager, when they go speak to South, they'll say, your half wants a bit of a roll-on. You're guaranteed it.
True.
You're literally guaranteed it. So that's going to be super interesting. The South Sydney Rabbitohs over the next 12 months, I think that they'll probably land one of the best sevens in the competition, young-wise, coming through.
And if they do that, South are up there with Prem favourites for 27.
So it's if I'm a young seven let's just say I'm only contracted for this year and I'm one of the better young sevens in the competition, you truly are in the business of, obviously injury-free, everything like that. Cam Murray, Cam Murray and Payne Haas in the same forward pack.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
It is insane. They get Cheese coming off the bench.
Yeah.
It's just craziness. It's absolute craziness. So the recruitment power of Payne Haas is going to be it's like a black hole, honestly. It's going to be the gravity is just going to be pulled towards it, because if you're a young player, Latrell still has, 4 or 5 easy years left in him. Jackie Whiten's still got at least 3 or 4 years left in him. Tallis Duncan, young as anything. Cam Murray's got 4 or 5 years left in him. There's still Fafita as well, got 4 or 5. There's also that connection. Fafita and Haas, pretty much the same age.
Well, apparently it was Fafita and Latrell that got him there.
Yeah, and so they would have come through the Broncos ranks together.
Yep.
So I want to leave space for guys that it was purely just because he wanted to be at the Rabbitohs and it was the same amount. It's all good. My Broncos bias is I'd love to hear the reasons. I'd love there's also personal stuff that you don't even know about, and we may never know about that may be for him. In regards to the Broncos, if your name's Xavier Willison, this is your time. This is your time. You want to be, you want a legacy. You want to reach your potential, everything you're capable of. You want to get that big contract. Man, you got a season to lock that shit in, because, not on Payne Haas's level, obviously, but a very, very, very talented forward. Extremely talented forward, Xavier Willison.
Especially because now that Payne Haas is gone, or will be gone in 10 days, they're going to want to replace him. So it's going to be up to him to say, no, that's me.
Yeah,
you're not replacing him. I'm the replacement.
How bittersweet, and I guess bittersweet poetry that I was talking in the season preview, or even last week, about the natural progression of Xavier Willison becoming the starting front rower. That's the natural progression in squads. Thinking that it was Jensen that was going to make way. It was fucking Payne
Haas.
Fuck! So there's that. Got Takora as well. The problem is really, regardless of how good a young forward is, they're not on Payne Haas's level. Payne Haas is generational. Matter of fact, generational is the wrong word. He's goated.
In my opinion, he's the best front rower I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people share that opinion.
He's the best front row in history. I know that there are other things. You could look at premiership, blah, blah, blah. Just looking at individual performances on a footy field, there is no front rower that has played as good as him.
Absolutely. And in 30 years, there's probably going to be some genetic freak that's going to be better than him. And that's just how rugby league, that's how sport goes. Yeah. That's just how it goes. But
everything goes. We can constantly, or most usually, we usually progress in anything that we do.
Yep.
So, I would just love to know what was the deal breaker for not staying at the Broncos. And this is Madge's biggest L in many a year.
Yeah.
You know, like he's walking into goated territory in regards to his resume. I mean, you could make the argument he should be spoken about in that when you look at all the rep stuff that he's done. But like, you know, Madge losing Payne Haas under his watch, like, that's just the fact of the matter. Yeah, like Madge has just had this sterling... And look, I'm not blaming Madge at all. Not at all. Like, it genuinely just could be Payne Haas wants to do something else. But at the end of the day, Madge would have wanted to keep him and he didn't. Like, that's just the fact of the matter. And I'm sure I'd love to hear from the Broncos' perspective, what couldn't they give Payne that made him decide to leave?
I want to hear it too, because we don't know and we can only speculate, but I'd like to think it's the legacy thing, because that, like what's more of a legacy, winning a second premiership with the Bronx or winning another premiership with a different club in another state?
And the oldest club.
And the oldest club and all, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, legacy-wise, it makes sense. And there is a very real possibility that this had nothing to do with what the Broncos could offer and he was essentially always going to be gone.
Yeah.
Because it's just the thing, you know, and there's going to be questions and everything like that, but the thing is that surely you just offer him whatever he freaking wants to stay. Like, because I just doubt Payne Haas is going to ruin that squad with too big of a contract. He's already proven that he wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, the club's built around him and Reece Walsh already. Like, you can... Yeah,
and the thing is, like, if you're talking about sponsors and third parties and that, there's no one that has more clout in that area than the Broncos, really. One team town. Yeah, so it's just...
Russell Crowe must be very convincing.
Yeah, maybe there's... yeah, it's just mind-blowing. It's so shocking. It's so shocking. Look, the thing I think that probably like... And I think most people may have thought of this, but I don't think you understand how connected Russell Crowe is.
Oh, yeah.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a guy that's like big in Australia. Like, you know, the thing with essentially nearly every other big dog that's in rugby league, they're a big dog in Australia.
Yeah.
That's it. Russell Crowe essentially can walk into any door worldwide. When you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. He's a global icon.
Yeah, like literally essentially made the greatest ever action movie, at the very least. Arguably the greatest ever movie. You know, obviously it's subjective or whatever, but I'm saying it's so good, it's so impactful, and then obviously he's got a bunch of other movies that's incredible.
But people still call him the Gladiator. The movie was made 26 years ago.
Yeah, and so, you know, if you're Payne Haas, I think we spoke about this a few years ago about the fact that like maybe he wants to be worldwide. Maybe the legacy is a worldwide thing. I don't know. But that's what's so confusing about the timing of it. You know, this whole union thing, it's like, if it's a union thing, surely you're looking at the World Cup 2027.
Yeah.
And obviously he can't do that. He's at the Rabbitohs. And so maybe it's the World Cup after that. I
mean, look, I don't want to like say what he wanted, but I don't know if was the World Cup a really major thing? Because he was going to go to R360, so that was for cash anyway. Yeah. He wasn't going to be able to play in the World Cup.
It's honestly, since watching footy, it's probably the biggest bombshell signing I've ever witnessed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, for example, Cooper Cronk to Roosters, obviously what he did was phenomenal, but he was at the end of his career. The Rabbitohs are getting him in the peak of his career. He'll be 27.
I'm trying to think, like... Because, like, when Inglis came to South, it wasn't a bombshell because he got moved on by Storm because of salary cap.
Yeah.
Because the biggest signing in history is Greg Inglis for South. This is probably bigger, and if not, it's equal. But, like, that wasn't a bombshell. This is a bombshell.
Because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's a year early.
Nobody woke up this morning thinking he was going to be signed with South.
Honestly, if it had popped up, really Roosters is the only one that I was like, I could see that connection there, the Sonny Bill connection there as well. And then the Rabbitohs. Like imagine him in a Rabbitohs jersey. Oh, fuck.
I am salivating.
Imagine, so your wingers have 1 and 2 hit up. Payne Haas takes the next one. Sorry, winger has 1 hit up. Payne Haas takes the next one. Fafita takes the next one. Cam Murray takes the next one. Like, what the and then Cheese is in there somewhere.
Honestly, shut the gate.
Fuck. Jesus. But again, the thing that confuses me is like, Wayne Bennett has to retire soon.
Well, the last I heard is that, so he's contracted, he's a 3 contract. This is his second year. So he'd be there for 1 year, but Souths are trying hard to keep him.
Yeah.
To keep Wayne.
Yeah, the Wayne Bennett. So like, they're reportedly trying to re-sign him, but like surely the next 5 years he's gone, and I know that his contract's only 3 years, but 5 years is long. Like, surely the next 2 or 3 years Wayne Bennett retires.
Well, he only needs one more contract for that contract with Payne Haas to match up perfectly. So, I don't know, maybe they sign him for an extra 2 years, and Wayne Bennett's not going to stop coaching.
Yeah.
So, I know the NRL wanted him for PNG, but like, look, I don't know Wayne Bennett, but just from what I've heard, like, it doesn't seem like he'd go to PNG.
Surely not. Like, surely enjoy your the cash that you've built up.
Yeah, he's already done his legacy with, he's got a million different legacies, but his legacy with the Dolphins, even though he didn't make the 8, but he still did a good job.
Yep.
I reckon feet up at South.
Far out. How does the club that lets Reynolds go get this? So we've spoken kind of here and there about the Broncos, but I just need to know, what couldn't we offer him to keep him? Like, what? And as I said, it probably is just he just wanted to go, but they got a lot of explaining to do. Like, if it isn't just he wanted to go, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, and I think we'll find out. Like, the Bronx aren't, like, they're going to be rushing to get some statements out for sure.
Surely there's some transparency there. Don't give me a willy-nilly nut. Like, okay, if there's other like young guns that are coming through that get poached by another club, all right, give me a willy-nilly club statement. This is too big for that. We're talking about essentially a club legend. Payne Haas, I consider him a club legend for what he did for the club.
Of course he's a club legend.
And so I need to know, did we exhaust every avenue, or was it a firm stance on certain things? Is there a rugby 360 clause or something? And I'm sorry, I know South fans are going to get pissed when I say that, like as if I'm disrespecting your club.
I don't think I don't feel disrespected by that at all.
Okay, like the internet, fuck me.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to speak for all South fans. Yeah. I'm not going to pretend to do that. But like,
surely as a South fan, you've got to understand, not you, but people listening, like, this is a bombshell. Like, this has come out of nowhere, and it's not like the Broncos weren't offering him over $1 million. So it's only natural to be like, okay, what was you're not closer to a premiership. He's already at a big club. His home is there. He grew up on the Gold Coast, essentially. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but the legacy thing just ticks the right box for me. And as a South fan, that makes me very, very happy that he's coming for the right reasons.
I'll tell you what, maybe Russell Crowe did the gladiator speech. Maybe that's what got him across the line. Russell Crowe literally did, "Are you not entertained?" He did, "Are you not?" It's the first time he's done it since a movie. Maybe he's going to be in Gladiator 2. That makes... Okay, Gladiator 3,
Gladiator
sorry.
3.
Holy shit, it all makes sense now. Payne has confirmed Gladiator 3 main actor.
Wow.
I'd watch it.
Well, that's the only way you'd watch Gladiator 3, I reckon, after Gladiator 2.
Russell Crowe. Oh, I love that movie so much.
I'm going to watch it tonight, I reckon. That's how pumped I am.
Dog. So with the Broncos, I mean, big questions. Like, the fact of the matter is, how did you lose a guy like this? How did you lose the greatest ever front rower, essentially, to play rugby league? Now, is there any more news that's come out since?
They will not be commenting until the 10-day period finishes.
Yeah. So, look, granted, I'm not asking for it tomorrow, but I think a lot of transparency is needed here. I think a lot of transparency is needed because I think Broncos fans, in this case, need to know how far did the club go to keep him.
That's more than fair.
Like, I don't want to hear some... we spoke about it, and, like some cookie cutter doesn't really say anything. I want to know, like, did we offer him similar to what the Rabbitohs offered him? Like, let's say the case is, hey guys, we offered him similar to what the Rabbitohs did. We also left the option open that we would be willing to give him a 5-6 year deal, a 10-year deal if he wanted it. And he still chose the Rabbitohs because he felt he wanted to work on his legacy or whatever. Like, that would give me clarity. But, if they just come out and say, "Oh, we tried our best," and unfortunately, he's decided to go down south, it's like, okay, okay, cool. I already know that. I already know you tried your best. I hope you tried your best.
Yeah.
I need to know, what was your best? Was your best this crazy harsh stance of like, "No, the club's bigger than any player, and we're not going to offer more than 5 years"? Or you know what I mean? Like, like that. Is that something that they've gone extreme on? Of like, we don't bend the rules for anyone kind of stuff?
That would be a mistake.
That would be a mistake. You got to make the caveats for certain players.
Of course.
And so that's what I get worried as a Broncos fan is like, I don't think this happened, but we see it at big clubs a lot. Like, they win a comp and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're the big dogs now, so you fall in line. I hope that didn't happen.
Broncos have been managing big personalities big footy stars,
forever.
big since they started basically. Yeah. I highly doubt that's the
Surely
reason.
not. Surely there's enough intelligent people in the room to go, guys, listen, okay, we got rules for most players, but if the name's Reece Walsh or Payne Haas, there is no rules. We do whatever we can to keep him at the club.
Wonder what Jonah Pezzet's thinking right now, because he's probably he's signed for 27. He's not going to play with Payne Haas now.
Well, Pezzett for sure, but I'm more looking at what's Walsh thinking? I know he's signed long term. What's Paddy thinking? I would have to say, what I will say from being an ex-player, when you're in it, it's very much because they're your mates. You're like, mate, do whatever makes you happy. Do whatever makes you happy. So from a mate's perspective, I bet you all the boys are stoked for him. They're like, yeah, bro, you got your family. Because that is the key. The key here is, I think, again, my opinion, but I think any real Broncos fan should only really care about what makes Payne Haas and his family happy because he delivered so much for us.
Because he gave you the trophy.
Yeah, yes. He literally got us a trophy. He in the first trophy in 20 years, he was a part all the way from bottom to top. I think it's unreasonable to turn around and then go, how dare you want to do something else as a human being?
Yep.
I just think that's unreasonable. I get it, the initial reaction that, stay, you should be there the whole time. And there's even part of me right now that's like, how could you want to play for, me, because I'm putting myself in a position. I'm like, if I was getting $1 million at Broncos, I'd literally never leave ever, 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 ever. That's how much I love the club. But I'm not paying, But I guess the other question is from a mate's perspective, I'm sure they're all like, mate, we love you. Do whatever you want to do. But from a footy perspective, what is Reece Walsh thinking? What's Ezra Mam thinking? What's Paddy Carrigan thinking? That's super interesting because he is a key to their greatness.
He's the key. He's the key to the 4-pack.
Yeah.
He's the key to any 4-pack he's ever walked into, basically.
Yeah. So there's that. Oh, man. I'd love to know the conversation between him and Paddy because they essentially started from the bottom.
Yeah.
Now we're here, shout out Drake, but not shout out at the same time. Still makes good music though, but don't like him as a bloke. Yeah. Well, I'm just shell-shocked really. But underneath it all is I'm just, whatever Payne Haas wants to do, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And I've been pretty, I know people don't believe me when I say that. I've said this for ages with Payne Haas. He has delivered for us. He can do whatever he wants. If you haven't delivered for the Broncos and they've been paying you $1 million a year, then maybe there is a bit of you owe the club something. Payne Haas, I truly just want whatever is best for him. Whatever makes Payne Haas and his family happy, that's what I want.
Of course.
As a Broncos, and that's coming from a biased ex-Bronco and obviously a fan of the Broncos as well.
Yeah.
If there was another player that, I don't know, they didn't win a comp and he'd been on overs for a while, or not even overs, a bit of a big wicket, and he was supposed to maybe not even win a comp, but just bring us to dominance, and he didn't, and then he bounced, as we were building into it. That's when I'd be like, obviously I'd never get angry at a player for bouncing because I get all this stuff. But that's where part of me would be like, man, the club has given you quite a lot and we're just about to hit where we need to hit and you're bouncing kind of thing, So
I remember when Sammy Burgess left for Union, and it's a bit different because we hadn't won the comp when he announced that. But then as soon as they did win the comp, the Rabbitohs, and Burgess literally was the hero, every South Sam was like, you deserve to do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, 100%. And I do think that, to be honest, I haven't seen many negative comments at all from Broncos fans. More just devastation.
Shock and
devastated, which I understand. I really do. There is the opposite. He's talking glass half full, but he could go down there and it'd be shit. He'll always play well. And I hate to say this to South fans, but he could go down there and his form could drop and he not win premierships.
I think
I don't think that's going to happen.
The not win premierships thing is possible, but honestly, I can't see his form dropping.
No, neither can I. I'm just saying, we're talking glass half full for the last 30 minutes. There is a world where he goes down there and he regrets it.
Yeah.
Goes down there and Broncos continue to grow and whatever.
But he could also stay at the Bronx and think, what if I went to another club?
Yeah, for sure. Man, I mean, to be honest, these are the two biggest watches out of the situation. Who replaces Payne Haas at the Broncos? Are they going to be like, okay, we're going for another big forward to build this forward pack around, or is it going to be very system based, almost like a Leota Fish situation? You got to remember, although obviously the Storm had really, really good front rowers, they were very system-based front rowers. Like, they weren't knocking out the numbers that Payne Haas knocks out. And I wonder if now Michael Maguire probably would have been told a few weeks ago, or he probably would have got an inkling a few weeks ago that Payne Haas was gone. I wonder if now he is going to be more focused on, like, building a system that isn't so dependent on one player, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. The timing of this must be a little frustrating for Broncos fans, because if this happened a month or two ago, Tino's on the market, Keon's on the market.
That probably already would have been in play, I reckon.
What do you mean?
Like, I reckon, I'd be shocked, but the fact that Payne hadn't re-signed yet and it was dragging out and they were probably getting feelings he hadn't committed yet, I reckon there was probably already convo between Broncos and Tino.
Oh, yeah.
Guess?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you'd be stupid if you're the Broncos and you've got Payne Haas that refuses to commit, and I think he knocked back a 3-year extension. And the mayor was he was going to sign a 1-year extension, which is that's why the Rugby 360 thing, like, fuck, that just
throwing a spanner in, hasn't it?
Yeah, I just reckon there's a small chance, but there might be a clause for Rugby 360 of, if it gets off the ground, I get permission to leave to Rugby 360 on the fucking $2 or $3 million deal a year.
I know we said the Suoliti thing before. I just remembered something. South have a clause in Alex Johnson's contract that allows him to be the first person to be signed by PNG no matter what time of the year it is. So South are open to different clauses.
Okay.
So maybe.
And I want to say pure speculation, guys, but it just, like, the fact he only wanted to sign a 1-year extension at the Broncos, like, this is my copium coming out. I'm huffing on the copium, but this would make sense to me. Broncos said to him, okay, we can give you a 3-year deal, no clauses, or a 1-year deal, extend until Rugby 360 comes in. The Rabbitohs came in and said, we'll give you a guaranteed 3-year deal plus a clause if Rugby 360 come in, you can choose to leave. Like, I don't understand why he went down to the Rabbitohs then.
And if that's the case, and, like, obviously we don't know, but if that's the case, I'm more than happy about that. Just get him down there.
Sorry, I've got to put the hat on when I say that. So, yeah, like, I think it's, I'll be honest, I think it's shrewd as anything from the Rabbitohs if they did allow that. But that's the thing that I with Madge being so, we know how he is about, like, standards, and not standards is the wrong word, but, like, he will make really, really, really tough calls if he believes it's, like, better for the team or the club. That's where I could go, okay, they offered him a 3-year deal or essentially as long a deal as he wanted, or a 1-year deal, but there will be no contracts with 3 years, but you can leave to Rugby 360 if it gets up and running. And South Sydney came in and said, not only will we offer you more money per year, which is probably 1.5, I don't think he left for anything less than 1.5.
Yeah, and as I said before, South have money in the cap for not 27, for 28 and 29, so it's highly possible.
And so maybe they said to him, listen, come to the club. If Rugby 360 gets off the ground, you've got full permission to go. And that's what trumped him. More money, more guarantee, and also if Rugby 360 gets off the ground, he can go.
It's all possible, but as an optimistic South fan, I want to believe it's for legacy.
Yep. Yeah, fair. And again, I don't know. This is all speculation. But, man, what a moment. What a day. I think, like, I know it sounds dramatic, but I think we'll all remember where we were when the Rabbitohs signed Payne Haas, the greatest ever front rower, from underneath all of our... we had no idea this was happening.
I was lining up for a Year 10 exam when I was told that Greg Inglis' time is South, and I'll never forget that day, and I'll never forget this day either.
Man, what an incredible job from South. Like,
I can't believe it. I can't believe they've pulled this off.
Like, I think Cooper Cronk probably goes down probably as the greatest signing ever.
I guess because...
Back-to-back premierships.
Back-to-back prems, yeah.
And they haven't done anything since.
Yeah.
You'd probably, like Lazarus, you could say, but that's to multiple different clubs. Back-to-back premierships. Probably Cooper Cronk, to be honest.
Probably. Yeah, it's tough.
Outside of that, though, because, like, Cooper Cronk was at the end of his career. Let's say he goes to Rabbitohs and plays a decade longer. This could be the greatest signing in history. All I know is it's one of the greatest recruitment efforts I've ever seen. Because Cooper Cronk, there was his partner in Sydney, and he was already looking at maybe retiring or whatever. You're getting Payne Haas at 26 years old, 27 years old, about to hit his prime as a front rower. It could be the greatest signing in the history of rugby league.
Definitely could be. It definitely could work out that way.
And we didn't hear anything about it.
And the fact that Fafita had a huge hand in it, like Fafita has already paid for his contract and he hasn't even stepped on the field yet. He's gotten Payne Haas there. It's not even round one. Unbelievable from South. Unbelievable. I just hats off.
Fafita, how could you do it? What did the Broncos do to you, bro? Fuck, you bailed on us, got paid $1 million, went to the Titans. Now you're taking our dog in Payne Haas. It's just like, because they did grow up together. They came through the system together. They went, I'm pretty sure, same school together, everything. And maybe they've said to each other, maybe when they were, let's get romantic here. I love to get romantic. Maybe when they were 16 playing for Kebra, they said, bro, we've got to win a premiership together in the NRL. And then Dave Fafita, Payne Haas went for coffee 6 months ago and said, or less than 6 months ago, when Dave Fafita signs with the Rabbitohs, he calls Haas up and says, remember that promise we made each other as 16-year-olds? Let's do it. Let's do it. And Haas said, fuck, I'm in. Maybe that's what happened. You say it sounds crazy, but like when you're 16 years old together and you're both goats, and I know Fafita has potential to be the greatest ever back row. Seriously, that's how good he is.
But like at that time, coming through, like they were always the two, especially like in the junior origin games. Like I know that the ages are like slightly different, but like Fafita was always the Queensland guy. Yeah. Haas was always the New South Wales guy.
Yeah, and then you've obviously got Tino there as well. But like Fafita, obviously he's got he's had a checkered little career, especially the last couple of years with everything going on. But in regards to potential, he could go down as the best back row of his generation.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how good he is. So like when you're younger and maybe that is what happened. Maybe they've gone, you know what? Brothers for life. We grew up together. Let's do something special. I did it with the boys, Paddy, Walshy, all that. They're a little bit older, but Walshy's younger, but I did with the Bronx boys. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's finish what we started in 2020 before everything happened. Let's finish what we started together. Maybe that's what happened. Wow. And so Latrell is a year older than Payne?
I think I'll have a look.
A year or two, actually.
He definitely debuted before him.
Yeah. But Payne debuted pretty young. I think he's 2 years older than him.
Latrell's 28.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, 2 years.
So they would have known each other there or thereabouts as well?
Yeah. I mean, they've played Origin together.
Yeah. So maybe, what an incredible, and Broncos, it hurts. It really does hurt, but, we are the Broncos. We are Queenslanders. We are Queenslanders. Billy, I need you to come in and say we are the Broncos, bro. Maybe we can get Cam Smith out of retirement in replacement. That's actually what's happening. Oh, okay. The wheels have turned now. The wheels have turned. Cam Smith's coming out of retirement to be our 9 and we don't have enough money in the cap for Payne Haas. That makes sense. That makes sense. I've always... Listen, people are going to disagree with me, but I've always said this. Payne Haas overrated. Overrated. Don't need him. Just like everyone is always glazing Payne Haas. Like, mate, Jensen's the key. Jensen's the dog in the middle. So many messages coming in like, welfare check. And I'm like, I just wrote back, Payne Haas overrated. Can you imagine like how, yeah. Yeah, it sucks. What's funny is like the I guess the human in me is like, whatever Payne Haas wants, I'm happy for. But it's going to be emotional. Like the highlights with the sad music behind it when he leaves is going to be emotional, bro.
Mate, when Adam Reynolds, I'm still not over Adam Reynolds leaving. Yeah. Like it still makes me sad. I get it. And like, that's why I'm not being a dickhead, to be honest. Like, because I know most of the people listening today will be Broncos fans. I don't want to be a fuckwit. Yeah. But like, I know how it feels. It is devastating. Yeah. There's no other way to put it. It's shit. It's great for fucking South fans, and it's one of the best days of my life today. But I get it. It's shit for Broncos fans.
Yeah. So I guess Madge's I guess obviously produce and recruit the next big thing, for sure. But I think his focus probably should turn on how do I build a system similar-ish, not the same style of footy, but similar-ish to what the Broncos, the Penrith Panthers have done, or the Melbourne Storm before them, where it wasn't so reliant on one guy breaking games open for us and doing all the tough stuff and getting us a roll on and all that. And it really is like, and I'm sure we've got some young guys coming through that are super talented, but this is really Xavier Wilson's moment. The moment has arrived for him to take that mantle of that famous 8 or 10 jersey at the Brisbane Broncos and make it his own. That really is. That's the focus. If I was Xavier Willison and everyone, and also Bentakura to a lesser degree as he gets older.
I'm having like the smallest skim here, so there might be names I miss of like props off contract for that year. No one's really standing out except for Terrell May. But like obviously this is very fresh, so
yeah.
And also I'm sure the Broncos can just get whoever they want, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one. I think they've surely got enough young talent there that can come in and not necessarily fill his shoes. It's Payne.
But no one in the world can replace Payne Haas.
Have you got the forwards up for Broncos in the top squad? All right, so we've got Takora, big boy, very talented, still quite young. I'm talking about middles here, guys. Yeah, it really is. In regards to in the top squad that we can see, it's Takora and Xavier Willison.
Yeah.
Now, Willison is 23, I think. Yeah, he's 23 years old, so still relatively young. And Takora is 20. Very different. Like, I think Wilson's probably
Takora's
closer
22.
Takora's 22, 21. It says 21 on the side anyway.
That would, yeah.
I will say Willison's probably more alike Haas than Takora is in regards to style of play. We'll say, geez, talk about the logo. Cursed logo.
He probably took one look at the logo and thought, no.
I'm out of here. Fuck this shit. I didn't come to play with this logo. I wonder the effect this has on the market, because I guess if you're the Broncos, you just look to make sure definitely upgrade a few people now. But like Reece Walsh is locked in. Reynolds will retire in the next year or two.
Let me check who's off. Is Walsh? Yeah, he is locked in. Yeah, Walsh is locked in long term. Oh my god, bloody website. Walsh is locked in. Pezzit's locked in. Mam's locked in. This is all for 28 and beyond. That's it, actually. Oh, and Staggs and Carrigan.
Yeah, interesting. So,
geez, that's not a lot of people.
Nah, so I guess you're looking at it and you're going, the market's going to get probably pretty hit by the Broncos. You just got to wonder like what front row is really going to be off contract around that time.
Yeah, the only one I could see quickly was Terrell May. I mean, that'd be a massive signing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's with his brothers. His
brothers now. Highly doubt he's going to leave his brothers or his brother. Outside of that, like, it's just one of those things where even you could talk about recruiting, whatever. But this is Payne Haas. He's a goat. Like,
sorry, Terrell May's not even off contract.
Well, there you go. You know what I mean? So, like, part of me almost feels like don't even try and go down that route. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't replace something you can't replace.
Yeah, it's not. You cannot replace Payne Haas. It's really that simple.
Yeah,
it's that simple. So maybe begin to develop from within, I guess. Because like you got like Tarpon is a bit older. You're never getting him out of the.
Yeah, I'm looking at this list. There's
AFB, he's older.
There's no one really off contract.
Fish older. Leota's a bit older. You know what I mean? Like you kind of. The only option you would have is going to jag a guy that hasn't debuted yet that's an absolute freak at another club. That's probably your best bet.
Yeah.
But then you have to ask yourself, surely at the Brisbane Broncos, we have a freak young fella coming through right now. Not that's not Payne Haas.
Yeah.
But that we just focus on developing him first. Surely.
I mean, you've already got so many props anyway. Like, is it Tolte? He came through. Willison.
Tolte's part of it now.
Wilson,
Takora.
Like, one of those guys is going to put their hand up, as we said before. It's probably going to be Willison, and then you just.
What an opportunity for Willison.
It is. It's massive.
Like, it is, honestly. This could be life-changing for him. Life-changing. Because he's learnt off Payne. He has similar physical attributes to Payne.
Yeah.
He's in, box seat. He's in the box seat. So, yeah, like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, what a crazy day in rugby league. I cannot remember a day like it. I cannot remember a day where the entirety of the NRL, regardless of who you support, has been mind-blown.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely mind-blown. Wow. What a moment from the Rabbitohs. Like, I can't put into words how good this is for them.
Honestly, it hasn't sunk in yet. Like, I haven't really been able to really sit down and think about, like, we don't know how this happened. I mean, we do, Latrell and Fafita, but like
they've snatched the greatest ever front rower from the team that just won the grand final and is technically bigger than them as a club.
Like, I reckon the only thing that would shock me more in the whole sport of rugby league is if another team signed Nathan Cleary.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's really it. That's the only one that would shock more.
No one else would really even... I don't even know who third would be. It's not even close.
Maybe Reece Walsh?
Maybe, yeah.
And you got Payne Haas out of the Broncos and he has a fullback like Reece Walsh. You know what I mean? So it's not like you can say, oh, well, we've got this guy that is gun, come play with him. Because it's like, well, we got Reece Walsh. Like, he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
You got future Queensland captain in Paddy Carrigan, most likely. Like, it is truly, truly mind-blowing. From a Broncos perspective, it's just devastating. It feels so wrong at the same time, like everything going on. It just doesn't feel right that he would be in another jersey. I mean, very similar to probably what you felt with Reynolds.
It's crazy how it's actually happened the reverse way.
Well, that's a comment I left on the Rabbitohs.
Oh, nice.
Instagram. I said, is this payback for Reynolds?
I'll make sure to like that one later.
Also left a "you're fired" on your video as well.
Oh, did you? I didn't see that yet.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Is the only other angle to it that, you know, you...
I mean, we've gone through a lot of the options. Just can't wait to hear what everyone says about this. Like, I can't wait to hear what South say. Can't wait to hear what Payne says. Definitely can't wait to hear what the Broncos say. That's the most interesting one.
Yeah, I need to know how far we went to try and keep him. Because, like, I've got to be honest. Let's say that fake scenario of 3-year deal, clause with Rugby 360 and all that kind of stuff. If that is true, when, again, it's just purely made up by me just now, I think they dropped the ball. I think you give him that option.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I think you just cop it.
You just go,
we are not talking about a really good player. We're not even talking about a great player. We're talking about essentially one of the greatest ever players that we'll see play rugby league.
Yep.
And you just bank for certain scenarios. Like, it has to be legacy from Payne. It has to be.
I think it is.
Like, he's got his old mate that he grew up with essentially, or, you know, many of his school years, and said, let's go win a premiership at a team that's only won a premiership once in 50 years.
And they would have got sold the South Sydney dream by Russell Crowe and all that.
And, like, connections, and if you have any interest in worldwide stuff, he's your man.
Yeah. Yeah. Who could help you playing rugby union later down the track? It's Russell Crowe.
Like, I know this sounds, like, insane, and I'm probably being stupid, so people put shit on me for it, but, like, who says he doesn't want to be like an action hero in Hollywood or some shit like that? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, there's ex-UFC fighters that all go into that shit. Like, that is something that Russell Crowe could offer. George Burgess is trying to do it.
Yeah, you got George Burgess in.
And George Burgess that's how he got in with Russell Crowe.
Yes, yeah.
I know it sounds silly, but, like, you know, maybe there's not many blokes that are 6'5" and moon like Payne Haas. Like, maybe he does want to get into that kind of shit. I don't know. Like, it's I don't know. I'm just speculating. Like, what could possibly be like? That is a point of difference that Russell Crowe can offer that no one else can.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, fuck. I mean, it doesn't seem in character for Payne, like, to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, we know he's very devout. Obviously, maybe that was a part of the reason too moving back to Sydney. I suggest that he doesn't have that up in Queensland, but obviously it's quite more concentrated here in Sydney. Maybe it's that as well. But that's what's surprising is, like, I don't know how close he is to Sonny, but they've had some conversations together, haven't they? Him and Sonny Bill.
Yeah.
So that's what's like. So clearly this wasn't through that connection to a degree. But with all that conspiracy out of the way, it probably is just the dad. Wanting to make your dad proud is one of the most powerful motivators any human being can have. I guess, leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts. You know, we've been just trying to process this just like you. Actually, when we walked in, I said to Matty, don't talk. Let's just get it all out and talk about it as if we've just started speaking, which we have just started speaking. Season preview drops tomorrow, guys. And also, just for the season preview, guys, that was shot before the trials this weekend. So, but yeah, Matty, any final thoughts, mate?
It's a great day to be a Rabbitohs fan, and it feels the same as. I feel like it's deja vu. The English signing, it feels the exact same.
Oh wow! And you know what's funny? Inglis had agreed to terms with the Broncos. Backflip last second. We're a battler. See how robbed we get? Poor club. Grab some grumpy coffee, guys. Bloke's biggest ever sale tomorrow at 6 p.m. Don't miss it. 50 to 60% off everything. Make sure to grab Grumpy Coffee. Got a limited edition, Valentine's Day, Disappointment Blend, limited edition blend as well. Once they're gone, that blend will not come back. So make sure to go to grumpycoffee.com.au. As usual, go fuck ourselves.